Hello, sheep. Right. So, just for a change of size today, I'm reviewing a Z125 in this lovely, very sparkly green. This is my sister's bike, and she hasn't ridden it over winter, and it's currently, I think this morning, 2 degrees. Cars. So we're going to take it for a little spin. Bit of a change from the ZZR. See how we manage it. Enjoy a bit of nature and a nice quiet ride. I had to find the most awkward thing to stop on. It's very quiet. It's been a long time since I rode a 125. Actually, when did my sister sell her MSX? It's been that long since I rode a 125. So for those starting off into the Kawasaki family tree, your 3 options, as far as I can remember, are the Z125, the Ninja 125, which is essentially this with a bikini fairing on, and I think slightly lower bars, I'll correct myself on the screen, and if you want a scooter, the J125. This is a very, very thin bike, like unbelievably thin bike, and it weighs very little, I think 105, 110 kilos, I might be a bit more than that. Bikes like these are your ideal kind of through town commuters. It's a proper full-size bike. If you ignore how skinny it is, it's not like a Grom / MSX, one of those things. It revs up to 10,000 on a 125cc single-cylinder engine, and is good for 70 mile an hour. Not that I'm going to find that out down here. For people who want cheap commuting, or people who want the kind of little run around through town, this is the ideal sort of bike, because it costs nothing to tax. Well, not nothing, it's very cheap to tax. It's cheap to insure, and I think this gets about 80-90 to the gallon. It's a very simple LCD black on white screen. It has your revs across the top, big digital speedo, so if you get caught speeding, you've got no excuse, apparently. Odometer with 2 trips, a clock, which currently is wrong, and a fuel gauge. Got 17-inch wheels rear and front, non-adjustable brake and clutch. But due to how thin the bike is, the mirrors are also extremely thin, and I can see very little through my mirrors without moving my elbows, and even then, if you notice, the L plate is on the wonk. I would try and hoon it more, but it's 2 degrees and looking gloriously foggy. It was nice when I left. This is the standard bike. You can get the Performance Edition, which has a slip-on Arrow exhaust, I think, and tail tidy. I'll put the prices on screen. I don't know what she paid for this. I know she's got a PCP deal, but I don't really know what she was planning on paying for it, or what she's paying per month for it. It's not a torquey low down 125. It's very much a revvy 125. The 6-speed. But I'd say that 6th gear is definitely more of an overdrive gear. This is just on the legal limit for what you can have on a 125 as far as horsepower goes. I believe the GSX 125, or I believe the GSX 125 and GSX 125R are bang on the money for that, and slightly lighter with the keyless ignition. This is standard key, same for the fuel cap, with a little bit of storage space underneath the rear. Very sort of waspy appearance, I think. Oh, that is top gear, never mind. Acceleration in top gear is not going to be mentioned, to be honest. I thought I said you are here. I thought, oh, thank God it's there. I wouldn't have known otherwise. Coming into a bit like this is where a bike comes into its own. This is what this is for. This is not for long stretches of dual carriageway or anything like that. This is very much for your in town. Don't get me wrong, this will hit dual carriageway speeds. There's a patch there for a button that doesn't exist. It does make me wonder if it was supposed to be hazards at one point they didn't put on. And makes no noise really at all with that exhaust on it. I can hear more from the actual engine than I can the exhaust, I think. The seating position on this is I'm sat very much with my feet below me. It's a bit of a shock jumping onto this from the ZZR. Mind you, it's also how thin it is was a bit of a shock. For people such as myself who are 6'1", it's a little bit on the cramped side, but I'd say people who are between that 5'6" and 6 foot, this is ideal size. For a learner, nice and easy to get on with. Nice and light, not too powerful, but easy to keep up with road speeds. It also has the mechanism inside the gearbox that makes it really easy to get it into neutral at a standstill. It's a mechanism that was used by Harley in the 30s and I think other companies in the 40s, but the only company who does it right now is Kawasaki. Which means when you stop, you can just slip it into neutral, none of this first second, neutral, just neutral. Nice and easy. Gearbox is fairly slick. I get the feeling it will eventually get to 70, but that's very much eventually. Not to 60 on this is about 16 seconds. If you ever actually get the chance on British roads to hit 60 mile an hour. It's very easy to ride bike, as most 125s are. Got a lovely tubular steel frame. I don't think there's really a bike in this sector where you can go wrong, unless you buy something really cheap made in a slum house somewhere. Got 4,000 mile service intervals, but a bike like this, if you bought it outright, you could service it yourself really easy. Not a hassle. Parts should be readily available. And it opens it up into biking with a familiar name. If you're anything like me, it's a name you'll stick with, as I've bounced back and forth between Kawasaki since my first big bike. Doesn't actually feel that cold this morning. I'll slow down here because there's always speed cameras and I can't afford any more points. Would I say this should be the main bike for someone who's already passed their test, is maybe getting on in age and wants to rekindle into biking? Personally, I'd go for a 300 to 500, maybe even like a nice 650 twin, something like that. This is more for your starting off biker, your learner. Funnily enough, I think the only 125 you should jump back onto as a person who's coming back into biking is an MSX or Grom in the States, because they're hilarious fun. Whenever you see youngsters going around on a bike like this, know that they're not creating havoc, or if they are, it's not on purpose. They are enjoying a sense of freedom they haven't had before. And biking's very much different to driving a car. As a person who was adamantly a biker and now has to drive his car everywhere, they're two very different things. And believe me, it feels a lot more free on a bike. Even this, riding this, is a lot more freeing than my car. It's me in the wind, going down a back road like the Norfolk TT. Move over. Good suspension, I'll say that. The bumps around here are not forgiving. They'd rather spend money on 20 new speed cameras than actually sorting out any of these roads. The seats on the firmer side, pillion seat, obviously on a 125 is pointless. It's more of a cosmetic item. I will admit, my foot is sitting on the exhaust. I have to have my feet really forward, like uncomfortably forward for me, with size 10s, to not hit the exhaust, and I'm not a fan of that. I'll see if we get a nice clean run off this one. Right. And go. Chin down. Downhill. Oh, mud. This bike has ABS, as is the legal requirement these days. It's not the combined braking, but it's also the requirement. It is just ABS. There's no traction control. It is a very simple bike. Key in, button to start. ABS to save your bum if you find a slippy bit and when you put your brakes on. This bike is your ride to Mackey's. Get your nuggets and your milkshake, chill out with your mates, and then go and terrorise some people at the speed limit or barely above it, because you're having fun. Hey look, free what? I don't know. Free house, I'll be right there. So if you're 17 to what, 21, give it a look. Take it for a spin. If you don't want to get a car, if you got a car, you want something just to kind of hoon around on a little bit. They're great fun. I think they're fairly cheap. I think they're probably about £3 second hand, something like that. In Kawasaki green and black, more green. There's some blue ones about. I'd personally go for the performance one. You might as well. Oh, look at that house. You might as well get the performance one. It's got the arrow exhaust on it. Lovely thing. Absolutely lovely. They never know when they see someone like me on a L plate. Like, what the heck? This massive dude's on an L plate. Like, yes, I am. Oh, that bump was not my friend. So yeah, quick stop at the old Broads, photo shoot and all that. It's an ideal little run around. Luggage hooks, silly little exhaust, single disc on the front, dog in a trolley. No reason to believe it wouldn't be reliable. Liquid cooled as well. There's that waspy face with the wonky L plate. God. Yeah, that's fairly bright. It's not LED, it's a standard bulb. I thought it was LED. I was wrong. But if this is the kind of thing you're looking for, pop down to a Kawasaki dealer, have a chat. Or if you're like me and you just buy without testing stuff, then shoot onto Auto Trader, Facebook Marketplace, something like that. Have a look. In summary, dog in cart. Right, assuming my camera is going to last long enough, let's try a bit of dual carriageway. That is an illegal exhaust. Not exhaust, you're an illegal number plate. You can't actually read it. Yes, lad! 63. I know, what if I pin it? Hang on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 68, come on, 69, lol! Not a chance. Not behind this pillock in the blue anyway. He's going for the overtake. He's overtaken on the dual carriageway. Get done, sucker! Get done! My leg is still going. Oh, hello, 67, come on! 68! Come on! Pin it! 69! No, I'm going up a hill! Hit the body, hey, Do I have him? Go on, have him. Have him, son. Go on. That's 2. I've taken 2. That limiter sucks. This is where the fun is in going fast on a slow bike. I'm not hit the speed limit yet, and it's overtaking people that makes it fun. Though how I overtook him managing 62 up this hill with a headwind, I don't know. I hope the audio is fine. 63, sorry, uphill. With any luck, oh, 62 again. So in conclusion, dual carriageway fine, you might eventually hit 70, just don't trust a headwind and an up this hill. Come on, I'm going to go for the spin. Oop. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby. Right round, round. For car people watching this, I think you very much have to understand on a 125, conservation of momentum is key. If you cut us off, we have to regain all that lost speed. And in a high speed environment, not like this right now, that means a lot. Little note to add, though I remember to put this in or not. I've got hand vibration an hour in, because it's a vibey single. My conclusion for this is, if you're looking for a 125 and you like the green, go for a Kawasaki. It's up there with the most horsepower you can have. It's a Revy engine. It's very light, it's very nimble, it's not too tall. It's cheap to run, and in the current climate, you need something cheap to run. I'm going to bail out. Thank you very much and see you next time. Goodbye.